Hello, my name is Johnson Nguyen. I am the editor of Blood Under the Tree. Today I will be explaining Creative Critical Reflection number 2. I will explain the question of how does your product engage with audiences and how would it be distributed as a real media text. As the editor of my group, I had to make sure the audience was engaged through the pacing of the film, tension, and suspense. Editing is one of the most important parts of any slasher horror film in bringing the suspense needed. One way I engaged with the audience was at the beginning of my film. During this scene, I used longer shots during the morning routine to create a longer scene. From the establishing shot to Jake waking up, to him brushing his teeth and dressing up, all the scenes were slow, calm, and ordinary. I even included joyful music to indicate the normal routine of Jake. The pacing was steady to show the audience that everything is fine. However, as soon as the next scene began with Jake going on the jog, I gradually began to include more cross-cutting shots between Jake and when was introduced. This is important because it engages the audience in knowing that Jake is being stalked by the elf before Jake himself knows. This helps to build the tension and suspense factor that is important for a slasher horror film. Another way I engage with the audience is with my shot selection choices. I included over-the-shoulder shots of Elf watching Jake and point-of-view shots as he continues to stalk Jake all the way into the park. By incorporating these shots, the audience also feels as though they are part of the stalking, and it continues to build further suspense as the audience is watching in the same perspective as the killer. Sound editing was another way I continued to engage with the audience. For example, my film took place in a daylight setting. Normally, this would not be scary to the audience watching the film, but I made up for the absence of darkness by using audio. I included non-diegetic music to build suspense and tension in the audience. For instance, I incorporated eerie music when Elf first began to watch Jake and all the way to the kill scene to show the building up of tension. This is to engage the audience as they are nervously waiting for something to happen. I also lowered the background noise of many shots such as the establishing shot and the jogging scene so that it will be less distracting for the audience. The next part of my question asks, how would I distribute my product as a real media text? Well, in terms of distribution, our film mainly caters to teenagers and young adults, which is a small percentage of all film watchers. In addition, we are not a big production studio with a large following or resources needed to be released in theaters. Therefore, the most realistic places to distribute our film would be online streaming service platforms such as YouTube or Shudder. YouTube would be a great place for a large audience to watch my film at very little cost, while Shudder would be a great site as well because it focuses on films that horror viewers enjoy. These sites will be the best options for my target audience to be able to find our niche film and for our film to gain traction and popularity. In conclusion, through pacing, editing, and shot selection, I can engage the audience with my product through suspense and tension in my film and by listing my film on streaming services such as YouTube or Shudder. I can increase the popularity and following of my film.